Jeff and Jeremy. It's like a radiogasm.
I said, hey, babe, check it out on the podcast.
Apple Podcast, Google Podcast,
And Spotify.
all this is going viral.
Why didn't this happen to me when I was Uber driving?
Because you were Ubering.
This dude was an Uber driver in San Francisco, and he says he was insulted, racially abused, and pepper sprayed by a woman who and her two companions. She got into the car not wearing a mask, and I think it's policy for ride sharing services now for both drivers and drivers and passengers to be wearing masks.
Yep.
And
I can't even leave the studio to go get a glass of water 10 feet away without putting a mask on before I come back, or I get an email.
True.
Hey, notice this is getting a little laxy-daisy around here. Make sure you put your mask on to walk 10 feet to get a glass of water.
So she didn't like the request. He pulled over at a gas station, says, you can go buy a mask in there. I'm not going to take you any further unless you go buy a mask in there. She got mad. She got really mad.
She got mad, and what did she do? She beat him up?
She did, yeah. She
Why would you want to be the super driver again?
She smacked him. Now, this is by her account. She said, all I did was smack him, take his mask off, and cough a little bit on him. I don't even have coronavirus.
I love the thought.
Now get this. The San Francisco Police Department investigating.
I'm guessing she didn't vote for Biden.
The incident. Yeah, no kidding.
Just gonna.
All I did was smack the guy, take his mask off, and cough a little bit on him.
Who didn't vote for Biden?
What?
It was a Jeopardy thing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I know you're reading, so I didn't mean to throw you off.
Well, no, it didn't make sense. Because if Jeopardy music was playing underneath or something like that.
I should have said, Alex, is it?
Yes, Alex would have been a good way to preface it as well. But people feel bad for the driver now, who's from Nepal. He moved here 8 years ago. He says, if I was another complexion, I would not have gotten this kind of treatment from them. I don't know if that's assuming.
This is a mass thing.
That is assuming quite a bit.
Every driver, when I go to this, like San Francisco or LA, for the most part, especially San Francisco, is not. They all seem like their language, their English is a little broken. I mean, it just seems like
Chances
most people
it wasn't the
that
first
are
time.
immigrants from other countries for some reason become, either taxi drivers and now Uber drivers or Lyft.
Chances are this is not the first time a woman got into an Uber but he says that she made comments towards
his race,
his racial makeup.
Because she was mad. It's not right.
Well, that doesn't make it right.
No, it doesn't make it right to hit him and cough on him and take his mask off either.
So people feel bad for him in San Francisco, and they started a GoFundMe for him.
Oh, look at you.
You know how much he made off the GoFundMe so far?
Probably thousands.
$38,000.
It's pretty good.
I mean, Uber rides you have to do to make $38,000.
I've been hit in the
San
face.
Francisco traffic.
I've been hit in the face by a girl before. I've been spit on by a girl.
Nobody gave you $38,000.
Nobody gave me a dime. Not a dime.
Were you like promoing the situation though? I mean, was it deserved? Did you?
Well, your wife is the one that smacked me in the face after she stole my bar stool when I went to the bathroom. When I came back, I nudged her, and she stepped off of it. She turned around and whacked me. But there was alcohol involved.
Don't say that. You make my wife sound like she's a drunk.
Well, this was before she had kids.
She did stop drinking when we had kids.
This was you guys were just dating then. You weren't even nothing. I mean, it was very long time ago. Anyways, that's the only person that's ever smacked me. My wife has accidentally punched me before. And then when the girl spit on me, it was on accident. So never got a dime. Nobody started a GoFundMe. Man, just think of all the money that people are probably pissed off that they did fundraisers before GoFundMe came around. Now you get a GoFundMe going and a little bit of publicity.
You have to have a car wash, or you have to, sell things door to door, like chocolate bars door to door, Girl Scout cookies door to door. You know how much harder you had to work. Now, I mean, you were talking about cell phones making your life easier. My daughter this year has sold more Girl Scout cookies than she ever has. some of it probably leans on sympathy because people feel bad for the Girl Scouts because they can't go set up stands.
It's easier for them now.
It's so much easier for them. So much easier for them. Like we can't even we have to.
Are you sold out of cookies?
We have to take an inventory management class in order to figure out what's going where. We need a distribution logistics program to figure out. Okay, you're going to South County today. Okay, take these boxes.
Do you have any more cookies?
I don't know. Ask my wife. She might hit you.
All right. So, anyways, this guy's going to end up fine. He's got 38,000 and it's growing. And hopefully, did she get arrested or anything? I mean, was she,
the question,
something happened to her?
The question, would you allow somebody in a populous area like San Francisco where COVID has been spreading rampantly in the past, where people probably are more on guard there than they are here about the coronavirus? Would you let somebody smack you, rip your mask off, spray you with pepper spray, for $38,000?
Yeah,
I would too.
Yeah, you want to do it right now?
No, I don't have the money.
Hey, coming up later on the show today, it's not 38,000, it's $1 million. It's the $1 million Mr. Skin Bracket Challenge. He's going to join us coming up 7:30. We'll find out how you can win $1 million.
Whoa! Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
This is a ringing endorsement for your phone.
Oh, you saw this, huh? Did you see my notes?
This is pretty impressive. Now, is this phone waterproof?
These phones are, yes, the new phones, starting with the, I think the 10 was water resistant, and now these are, I don't know if they're waterproof, but only to, like a lot of things, to a certain depth.
This is insane.
But, there's an exception for everything, I guess. And so, yeah, this is a pretty good story because you think about it, an electronic device that you could fish out of this phone was found in a lake, right?
Yes.
And still works?
6 months later.
Pretty good.
So what happened was this lady was driving bumper boats on this lake in Vancouver back in September. She dropped her phone into the water. She told the staff about it, and they're like, this is a lake. We're not going to be able to ever get to it. Well, then there was this couple that came along, and they're diving enthusiasts, so they like to go diving for treasure and trash. So I guess a
lot of people do this.
Do their part for the environment as well.
It's not much different than when you were going to start metal detecting. It's just people dive down in the water and do it that way.
It's fun for them. I can see that being fun, actually. They found the phone. They brought it to the surface, took it home, cleaned the dirt off of it, and tried to turn it on. And it turned right on. It turned right on. It was an iPhone. Pretty amazing.
It is pretty amazing. And it wasn't in a waterproof case or anything, right?
No, it was just a phone. It was on a bumper boat. Psh, went off. She got the number to get in contact with the person from the SIM card, I guess.
Now, the person's got a new phone by now, right?
New phone, new number.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Old phone, old number, sends her a text. Is this your phone? Would you be like, what? What
do you do with that phone? What do you do with that phone now? I mean, I don't know. It's like, just throw it back to the bottom. I don't need it now.
You take it down to Cupertino and you say, hey.
Cupertino?
That's where Apple is. You take it down to Cupertino and you say, hey, I want to shoot a commercial. You guys got money. I got to
think you call Apple, you tell them about this. You say, hey, there's already going to be some media on this. Okay, how much money are you going to give me? Like, come on, there's got to be something. We got to do something together here. I got to get something out of this.
Switching to the Samsung waterproof version.
Give me some Apple iCard promos, so I can go to the iStore and get myself
that is pretty amazing.
$200 earbuds.
I had do you remember I don't even know what the name of the damn phone was. It was blue. It was a popular flip phone before the Razr came out. Do you remember the Razr, the Motorola Razr? Of
course I do.
Motorola used to be the only phone company, right? And Motorola...
Razr was a good phone.
Razr, but then they made a little blue phone. It was about that big, and it was a flip phone. It was the size of a pebble. It was like that big. And I'm doing a U with my thumb and my index finger, and I'm using my other index finger to show the
tiny phone.
Flat top. It was pretty small. But it had some features on it. Like you could get internet on it, but limited internet. Like it was like, you get scores and stuff like that. But this was back in like 2004, 2003. And I remember I had cargo shorts on and I was at Seafair in Seattle. And at Seafair in Seattle, the liquor does flow. And we decided to go out to a boat that was out in the lake that was a friend of ours' boat. So we were all going to swim out there. And I'm swimming. It's a hot day in August in Seattle. And I want to refresh myself a little bit. So I'm out there and I'm swimming around. And I'm swimming around for like 15, 20 minutes, just treading water, hanging on the side of the boat, doing all that stuff. Go back to shore, get out, and realize because the phone was so small, you could put it in cargo shorts and not know that it was in your pocket.
Sure, that's the problem.
Yes.
You didn't know. You forgot about it.
And
got it wet.
I was like, oh, man, I'm not going to have a phone. My buddy says, hey, all you need to do, it's going to be hot the next couple of days, is take out every single component that you could take out without taking it apart. Without getting a little screwdriver and taking the components apart.
So take the battery out.
Take the battery out.
Take the back off.
And set it in the dash of your car. I'm like, that's not going to work. He's like, no, seriously. And then look at the little display screen, because there's a display screen on this. There's a display screen on the outside and on the inside of the phone. And once any moisture has left any of the display screens, like you don't see any more of the condensation in there, your phone should be good to go. I did that, and it worked. Yeah, it worked.
People swear by rice too.
Yeah, he said that too, and I wasn't going to deal with that.
But the dash is pretty. I mean, I've heard people in desert areas that will cook food, hot pockets on their dash. I think we probably talked about that here. But wrap it in foil and stick it on their dash, and it'll.
That's the Burning Man stuff.
You get all that heat coming in. It's a good idea. That's a good hack actually. But
you can sell Hot Pockets at Burning Man, huh?
You want to pay, at least if you pay $1,000 for a phone, you know that you can drop it in the bottom of a lake, and chances are it's still going to work.
Yeah, that's insane. That's a great commercial for Apple.
Wake up. Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
Jeff and Jeremy here online at KCOZ.com. This is something you have to be aware of when you teach your kids how to drive, is not being ran over. Ugh.
An accident involving a student driver left a Las Cruces mother badly injured. Police say the woman was teaching her 14-year-old son how to drive at her home Saturday when she fell over while he was blacking out. Her son panicked, stepped on the gas by mistake, and ran over her. She remains in critical condition at an El Paso hospital.
Gee.
Sorry to laugh. That's a nervous laugh. I mean, wow. I mean, you think about it. I've seen it happen. I probably have done it myself when I was learning how to drive.
Is driver's ed still a thing in school?
I believe so. When you panic, you go to do something really quick.
Yeah, it happened to me.
Instead of hitting the brake, hit the gas.
We were in a parking lot, and he had me reverse, and he said, "Okay, go forward." And I didn't put it into drive, and he had to slam on that brake. And everybody. I was with my friends. They let us pick the people we pair up with, and of course you're going to pair up with your friends. But then with teenagers at the age of 15 that are full of testosterone, I'll never forget. It was Andy Cho and Mike Vomenisi. And they wouldn't let me live it down because they actually had more experience than I did driving going into driver's ed. And
you're raised by a single mother.
Yeah, and
I think there's a stat on that.
Is there?
So yeah, kids that are raised by single mothers are bad drivers.
Okay.
You didn't even have a shot.
All right. I didn't get a speeding ticket on Broad the other day, so you tell me who's the bad driver. See the testosterone. It continues.
I'm fighting that. Taking that to court. No comment. Can't talk about that matter right now until it's resolved.
It's illegal. We don't comment on legal matters.
I can't comment on legal matters right now.
Yeah. I wouldn't. I couldn't live it down.
Wait, he told you to go and drive, and you put it in reverse, or vice versa?
No, I had it in reverse. He said, "Okay, I need you to reverse," and then reverse into this parking spot. Is what it was. And then he goes, "Okay, now go forward." And he noticed that I didn't put it into drive, and because he talked to me for 30 seconds about what I did right and wrong, and my foot was on the brake.
Talk about distracted driving.
And then he goes, "Okay, now pull on out of here." And I tried to while it was in reverse. I would have gone over the landscaping there and the parking lot, and he slammed on the brake, and everybody got a jolt out of it, and then got a laugh out of it for the next 10 years, it seemed like. Because they're like, oh, Jeff doesn't know how to put it into drive.
Is this what happened to you? Is this why you're so bitter?
Oh, no. This is not a thing that I hold on to. Trust me.
This is, maybe why you should leave it to the professionals. I don't know. I mean, come on, it's driving a car, right? I mean, I don't know if my parents showed me how to drive. I don't even remember. I think I just taught myself how to drive a car. I mean, I just remember driving cars. I don't remember. I did go through driver's ed because you had to do that. I had, passed my test and all that, but I don't remember that. But 14 years old, I remember I was driving at 12, so.
What were you driving?
Parents' cars. We had a lot of property, so I had a long driveway, so I could just drive up and down the driveway.
You just drive up and down the driveway like Rain Man?
Yeah. Yeah, I was driving, man. It's great.
It's crazy. You were like in third grade and driving.
And see what I mean? The bitterness. Do you see what I'm talking about? Hey, it's okay, dude. Listen, everybody sometimes forgets to put the car in drive.